Good morning, guys. Everybody's good morning. Good morning, Prakash. So, shall we start our session?
Yeah, good morning, sir. We can start. Yeah.
Yes. So, guys, in the last session, we discussed about the Django features. Okay. So, these all are features we discussed, guys. Django is a fast framework. Django is a scalable framework. Scalable means low level application, medium level, high level we can do. Versatile framework means a different kind of applications like e-commerce, banking, gaming, networking we can developing. Portable framework means cross platform. Okay. Cross platform we can do, guys. Cross platform we can do communicating. Okay. So cross platform communication is there. And so Windows to Linux, Linux to Windows, Windows to Mac, like that. So all major databases supporting as so using the Django, if you are developing one application, that application can communicate with these all major databases. So coming days we will discuss about the MySQL and MongoDB. So one database how communicating, if you know, then all other database same way we can do depending on our requirement. So without these major databases, guys, Django by default coming with one database which is SQLite 3. So the database related settings also automatically coming. So next, Django is coming with one default application which is admin site. So ready-made application, guys. Later coming days we are going to use regularly this one. So because of this one, as a developer, we are getting a lot of burden reducing, guys. Okay. So a lot of benefits we are getting, guys. We are reducing the lot of burden by Django, guys. Okay. So why means this admin site we are not developing manually. Ready-made is there. So obviously reducing the burden on developer by Django. So Django also coming with one authentication application. Here user registrations, logins, logouts, profile informations, forgot passwords, like all the things maintaining here. So without writing by ourselves logics, automatically ready-made code there here. Just we can use. Okay. So to display the user-friendly messages, class messages we are calling. So whenever registration done, yes, your registration is done successfully. Like if you want to be creating, then this messages module we are going to be using. So automatic garbage collector is there. Unused imports, unused objects automatically deleting by our Django, guys. Nothing but Python. So Django is purely designed by Python only. That's why you're getting these all benefits. Whenever we are installing the Django, guys, huge packages are coming along with Django framework. Lot of modules coming, guys. These all modules code 70 to 80% code is there. Just we are going to write remaining code only. Okay. So like n number of features there, guys. N number of features there. Because of these all features, finally we are getting some benefits, guys. Okay. So industry people are looking for always within the less time, guys. Okay. They need to develop within the less time with less cost, best applications they need to be developing. So all organization people are looking for saving timing, guys. Saving the time. Okay. Save the cost of the project they need to save, and give the best performance application, guys. Performance increasing. Okay. So performance increasing. These things only they are focusing, guys. So to developing any application, every organization is looking for within the less time with a less cost, we need to developing the best product. So these all things using the Django is possible compared to other language related frameworks. Okay. Na? So that's why this Django is getting more demanding nowadays. Okay. Na? So far everybody. So history, features, okay. What is the software? What is the framework? Like these all things we discussed, guys. Now onwards, installation of Django framework. We are going to be discussing installation of Django framework. We are going to be discussing, guys. Okay. So if you want to be installing the Django framework, first of all in your system, you need to be install the Python. You need to be install Python, guys. Python installation required. Python installation required first. Required in our local machine, guys. So why means whenever we are installing, whenever we are installing, okay, so Django guys, Django is completely designed by using the Python only, that's why if you want to work with Django, Python software is required. And also if you want to installing the Django framework guys, so first Python is required. Why Python required means, at the time of installing the Python guys, so along with the Python software, so many ready-made modules or ready-made commands are coming guys, ready-made functions coming. Okay, print function we are not designing, along with the Python software coming, type function, range function, these all are ready-madely coming guys, automatically at the time of installing Python only. So one command is there guys, pip command is there. pip stands for Python installer package, okay. So whenever we are installing the Python software, in our Python software one pip command also coming, guys, okay. So this pip command is required to installing the third party modules, when you are learning the Python guys, if you are installing any third party module, then you are getting knowledge about this pip. Some people at the time of learning Python only, they knows about the pip, but some people they don't know about the pip. Why means in Python they did not use it about the pip. Okay, so that's why here regularly in our Django regularly we are using this pip guys, don't worry. So first I'll tell about the pip and then later we can installing the modules. So at the time of installing the Python only, in Python software pip command is also there guys. By using this pip command, we are going to be installing this Django framework. Okay, this Django framework, how we installing means using the pip command we are installing. That's why Python software is must be required in our system. Then only pip is available. If pip is available, then you are able to design, installing the Django. Clear this instructions? So to installing the Django, Python is required. At the time of installing the Python, pip command is also coming. By using the pip command, this Django we are going to be installing. So pip stands for what? Python installer package. Guys. So I'll tell wait this one. First guys, after installing the Python you are downloading from www. Okay, www.python.org. Python organization. Okay, so from this site you are going to be downloading as so downloads. So from this location you are going to be downloading the Python software, whatever you want you can install by clicking next guys. So nowadays guys, automatically Python path also adding. If not adding, then you are going to be adding manually in the Python environment variable section. Okay na? So are you remembering that one? Yesterday I explained how we are going to be adding the environment variable sections. Okay, so here I given guys, in the last session I explained yeah. So after installing the Python guys, so Python path how we are adding means, so Python is available in this location guys, by default. Which version you are installing, that version, copy that one. This is nothing but interpreter location, Python interpreter, nothing but python.exe file is there in this location, that is called interpreter. Where my interpreter is there, you are giving instruction to the OS, and where my pip command is there. So in the Python software, inside the script folder we have the pip command. So up to the script folder also, these are two locations guys, these are two locations we need to give in the environment variable section. Okay na? So I hope all people knows about that, how to add these variables in the environment variable section. If you want guys, just you can click the computer guys, you can click on the computer. So here your PC is there, C drive, this PC. So click on the PC and click on the properties and click on the advanced system settings, and let's click on the environment variables, and now here path is there, click on the path. Okay, so now you are going to get like this way guys. So if you want to add that environment variable, copy and paste here guys, copy and paste here, otherwise you can click new, so nothing but coming here only. Okay, so this is guys, this is a pip location, and this is a Python location. This both we need to add, then only Python working perfectly from the command prompt. Okay, na? So remember these all things. Later everything you are going to be closing. Okay, after adding guys those variables, after adding those environment variables, this path if you are adding, then open the command prompt, you can check it here. So if you are typing Python, then immediately Python prompt coming. If you are not adding that environment variable, then Python is not recognized as an internal or external command like that showing. Okay, so now this is command prompt, Control Z coming back. So version, if you want to know guys, Python hyphen version, Python version you are getting. Okay, like you can find it guys, you can find it. Yeah, so next guys, after setting these all environment variables, now using this pip command, we are going to be installing the third party modules. So first of all, in Python we have how many types of modules guys? In Python we have how many types of modules? Any idea? We have the 3 types of modules guys. In Python we have the 3 types of module. So we have 3 types of modules in Python, or else Python providing the 3 types of modules. One is guys, predefined or else built-in modules. Okay, predefined modules also called as the built-in modules. So predefined modules. So next, user defined modules. Next, third party guys, third party modules. Predefined, user defined, third party modules. Like 3 types there guys. Okay, so first one guys, user defined modules means what? Predefined modules means what? Predefined modules? So the modules which are coming along with Python software whenever we are installing the Python guys. Okay, so Python we are downloading and installing, along with the Python software some modules also coming, and those modules we are calling built-in modules or predefined modules. Okay na? So simply one word answer I'm giving. In my material you are going to get more clearly guys. Okay, along with Python software, if we are getting any module, that is we are calling predefined module. Okay, so along with Python software we are getting some modules guys. Along with Python software we are getting some modules, and these modules we are calling so predefined modules guys. We are calling predefined modules. Okay, so that is the point guys. Next, for example guys, for example of predefined modules, so math module is there in Python guys. Math module there, mathematical operation. OS module is there to communicating the OS. RE, regular expression module is there, regular expression in Python we are discussing. Okay, so like so many modules there guys. Sys module is there, date time module is there for time representing purpose, date and times. For calendar representing purpose we have the calendar module. Like all are predefined modules guys. Okay, so whatever you want you can use the predefined modules. Okay, so next guys, user defined modules. User defined modules. So user defined modules means as a developer you are going to create some modules to performing your task guys. So in our organizations we are having different tasks for registration, for login, for logout, like each are task guys. Okay, so for achieving each task, for solving every task, we are going to write some coding. So that coding we are calling user defined module. Okay, so for example I want to take the addition guys, addition of 2 numbers. This is my requirement. Take the 2 inputs from the user take the two inputs, first number, second number from the user, and performing the addition of both numbers and return. That is my task, guys. Okay, my senior, my lead given to me one task. So take two inputs from the user and performing the addition. So how do you take it, guys? Yeah. First number, or else number one. You can take it simply number one, number two. Number one I'm taking. So how do you take it here? By using the input method. By using the input method from the user you are taking, guys. Okay. So enter first number. Enter first number. This is my message. Next enter second number. Okay. Now you are writing this one. So first number, second number you are going to take. String format taking, as input method taking string format. That's why you are going to do the typecasting. Typecasting you are going to do. These all are Python knowledge only, not Django. Remember your Python knowledge. Recollect. So two numbers I taken, guys. Number one, number two. So I want to be performing, guys. I want to be performing addition. So number one, print number one plus number two. Enough. Otherwise, one method you can create if you want, one function. So addition function, guys. Okay. Add of x comma y. Add of x comma y. Something you are writing, guys. Now here you are going to be print x plus y. Print x plus y. This is my method, guys. Okay. So now I'm going to be called add of. So number one you are taking, number one, number two you are taking, guys. So that number one and number two we are going to be pasting here. Okay, na? Python functions concept, guys. Functions concept. So I created one function, add function. So to the add function, I'm giving the number one value, number two value. These two values coming to here, and now you are printing the result. Okay, na? So this is my task, guys. This is my task. Okay. So in the this task I created in one Python file, which name is add.py. So this is we are calling a user defined module. In Python, every .py file we are calling module only, guys. Add.py, subtraction.py, multiplication.py, sample.py, example.py, demo.py, like n number of programs we are going to be creating. So those all we are calling user defined modules. So to performing the your requirement, you are writing the user defined module, guys. Okay, na? Yeah. Now here, guys. So sometimes I required the predefined module to use in the user defined module, guys. So this is our main code, guys. When we are developing here in the user defined module, when we are writing the logics, sometimes the predefined modules we required. Then those modules we are going to be importing into our user defined module by using what? Import keyword. In the Python module concept, there import keyword, from keyword. These are two keywords we are using, guys, to importing purpose. Okay, na? So now can see, for example, this math module I want, guys. This math module. So I'm going to be importing here, guys. I'm going to be importing here math module. I imported math module. Okay. So later I want to be executing here, guys. I want to be creating one more function here. Def power of, okay, find the power of two numbers, guys. I want to be finding. So x comma y I'm taking, x comma y. Okay. So now here you are going to be print the result. So result you are going to be print x star y, x star y. That is the logic, power function logics, guys. If you want, you can check it here. If you want, you can check it here, guys. Okay. So now here 2 star 3 means 2 to the power of 3 means 2 into 2 into 2, 3 times you are multiplying, 8 result you are getting. Okay. This one we have one predefined function, guys, power function. So 2 comma 3 you can write, then easily you are getting. So this is a small value, guys. That's why you can write 2 into 2. We can find the calculation. But if big numbers there, guys, a big numbers there. For example, 12 comma 15 means 12 into 12 into 12 into 12 like that 15 times we need to multiply, then this big value coming. So this is unable to find, guys, manually like this by our pen and paper, unable to find, lot of time taking to find, but using the power function 12 to the power of 15 value, this one you are getting easily, you are writing. So this is a predefined function, and I'm creating my user defined function, find the power of two values, okay, x, y. So number one you are giving, number two you are giving, those two numbers I'm going to give here. So find power of number one comma number two. Whatever the user giving numbers, those numbers I'm going to be getting the power of two values. Power of two values you are getting here. Okay now. So guys, here print exponent value you are using, guys. Print exponent value you are using. So okay, this is a, if you are creating like a method, so method logics you created, guys. Method logics you created. So square root I want to find square root, then again different logics. So in the math module, guys, we have all ready-made methods. We have all ready-made methods. So this is what, this is addition method related calling. Okay, this is the find method related, power method related calling. Okay, so okay, you are not writing this function, guys. You are not writing this function, assumption. Then already math module I imported, guys. Okay, so directly you can write or else you can store into x variable. So we have the math module, math module. So math module dot, in the math module also we have the power function, guys. Math module dot power of this number one, number two. We have the two numbers, guys. Okay, so number one comma number two, like you can write. So this math module related to power function, taking m1 number one, number two, finding the power value and storing into x variable. That is you can print here. That is you can print here. Okay, guys. This one. So whenever we are going, my requirement here, I need to find the power of two values. So for that, this predefined math module in the Python software location is there. That is I imported into my user defined file. Later this module I used wherever I want. Okay, so that is a user defined module. How using means first importing and then you can use, guys, and then you can use. Okay, na? So now user defined and predefined completing. Are you understanding what I'm telling? Both of you. So next, third party module there, guys. Third one is what? Third party modules. Third party modules there. So third party modules means, guys, along with Python software not coming, the modules which are coming with the Python software, predefined modules we are calling. As a developer, if you are creating those modules, we are calling user defined module, your own defined module, guys. So third party modules means not coming with the Python software and not developing by you. Some other developers, some other people, they created some modules and they maintained these modules in the internet location, guys. They maintain these modules in the internet location, web location. Okay, then those modules we are calling the third party modules. So third party modules are developed by some other people and they are maintaining the web location. Those modules we are calling the third party modules. So when we are developing our user defined programming, guys, this one, when we are developing our user defined concept, user defined module concept, this one, addition related programming. Okay, sometimes we require third party modules also. Sometimes we require third party modules also. So third party modules, if you want, then we are unable to importing here, guys. Directly we are unable to importing. Okay, so then we need to be downloading and installing third party modules. So third party modules are available, guys. So available in web location. So simply I'm writing shortcut points. Available in web locations, guys. Third party modules and written by and or else created by and created by some other developers, not by us. Okay, so using the pip command, guys, using the pip command, we can get these third party modules. We can get these third party modules, guys. That is the process. Okay, pip is always interacted with internet, guys. Pip is always communicated with the internet and searching for third party module, downloading and installing. So here open the command prompt, guys. Open the command prompt, pip followed by install followed by required module name, whatever you want you can install. For example, cmd. Okay, so pip install Django. Django is also a one third party module, guys. Django, we are not downloading separate software like a Python, and we are not installing by clicking next like that. So just this command we are installing as pip install Django. Okay, like n number of modules there, guys. Third party modules, hundreds of third party modules there. Depending on our situation, we can get it. Okay, na? So pip install Django, like that we are going to be installing. Now can see here what is happening means, so everybody can see here. So now here this is my user defined program, guys. This is my user defined programming. Okay, so user defined module, simply user module, user defined module. Okay, so now here predefined module there, guys. Some predefined module there. So predefined modules they are calling predefined modules. Predefined modules, guys. Predefined modules are available in the Python software location, guys. Python software. In the Python software, predefined modules available, guys. For example, what are the modules? OS module is there, math module is there, okay, sys module is there, regular expression module is there, date time module is there, like a number of modules, all are predefined. Okay, so guys, for example, I want to know here power value. Of two numbers. Then I need to import this math module from the Python software location to our user defined file. This is available in the C drive, guys. Python software available in the C drive. Okay, so my user defined program available in the D drive. For example, in the D drive we have my program. Okay, so now here by using the import keyword, you are going to be importing math module. So from the Python software location, from the C drive to D drive in my location, I imported math module. Now onwards, this is I can use in our local in this program. So here I'm going to be using as math dot power of some number, you can give 5, 6. Then power value you are getting as store into one variable, that variable you can print. Okay, like we can use, guys, for example this value, power value I'm using in the one x variable, x equal to. Okay, now here I have the y equal to also, guys, y equal to 10. So x value is there, y value is there. Next I can use what? Print x plus y. Okay, na? So power of 5, 6, that value you are getting and storing into x and y value now you are printing here, addition. So like we can use, guys, this is my requirement. I want to print addition of x and y, but y value only I have, but x value I didn't have. So x value I'm getting from by using the power function. Okay, like in our user requirement we can use predefined modules. Okay, so predefined modules by using the import keyword you are getting, guys. So that point remember. Next, third party modules, guys. Third party modules available in the web location. Okay, so third party modules. Okay, third party modules available in the web location here available third party modules, guys. So now what are the third party modules means here? For example Django is one third party module, guys. Pillow is one third-party module. Okay, so PyMySQL is one third-party module. Okay, so PyMongo is one third-party module. Like n number of modules there, guys, in the real time. So in the web location, hundreds of modules there, third-party modules. So like multiple modules there, guys, multiple modules there. So now I want to use this Django module in here, guys. The Django module I want to use here. If you want to use here, but we are unable to get directly into here, guys. First, we are going to use this pip command, guys. Pip install Django. Then pip command connected to the internet, guys. In this internet, searching for required module, finding the required module. Okay, after finding, downloading, guys. When downloading, this module is available in the after downloading successfully, this module available in the Python software location. Okay, now here available third-party module. Okay, now third-party module available here, guys. Later, that is we can import here by using the import keyword. Import Django. Okay, guys. Like this, we can use, guys, third-party modules also. From the internet, first we are downloading. Those are available in the Python software. Later, the modules which are available in the Python software, those all things by using the import keyword, or from import keyword, we can import into our user-defined module. And later, we can developing our user-defined application properly. Okay, guys. So our Django application, if you want to communicate with MySQL, guys, then this is you are going to be installing. Then this PyMySQL module also coming here, guys. Django, PyMySQL. So now this PyMySQL module I'm importing into my user-defined programming. Now my user-defined application is communicating to PyMySQL. Okay, so like that, all third-party modules by using the pip command we can get, and later we can use, guys, those modules. So whenever we are using the pip command from the internet, downloading and storing into the Python software location. That point remember finally. Okay, so to installing the Django framework, I told pip command is must be required. Why means, so Django is a third-party module. This module, if you want to get, using the pip command only we are getting. Clear, guys? So how many types of modules there, and what is the predefined module, what is user defined, what is third party module? If anybody is asking, you need to explain these all things. In our user defined module, how we are using the predefined module, using the import keyword or from keyword. In our user defined module, how we are using the third party module? First of all, by using the pip command, we need to download the third party module, store into Python software. Later that third party module which is downloaded, that is we can use inside our user defined programming. Okay, guys. So now using the pip command, you are going to be installing, guys, pip install Django. So this pip command is always connected to internet, searching for required module, downloading, guys. So at the time of searching, finding the latest version, guys. So Django 1, Django 2, Django 3, like multiple versions there. Pip command always finding the latest version which is available in internet and downloading that one. If you want any required version, guys, so this is getting what? Latest version number downloading. Okay, so if you want any existing version number, then double equal to version number you are going to give, guys. Version number, whatever the version you want, you can give here. Don't take space, guys, like this. Okay, without space required. Pip install Django double equal to so and so version. That version only going to be downloading. For example, I'm going to be installing here 2.0.5 version. So right now I'm using this one, guys, a standard version. So latest version we can use. If you want some old version also we can use. We can upgrading, we can degrading, whatever the version we want, guys. Depending on programs we can use the version. Initially I'm going to use this 2.05. So if you are not using this double equal to version number, latest version 3.2 is there, 3.2, that is going to be downloading. Okay, everybody? So far what I'm telling, you guys are following? So like this you are installing, guys. After installing this Django, after installing the Django module, guys, after installing Django module, then we are getting, guys, then we are getting one file, guys. We are getting one file or application. After installing the Django module, then we are getting one file into our local system. We are getting one file into our local system, guys. We are getting one file into our local system, which is available in the Python software location, which is available in Python software location. This is the process, guys. What is that file? After installing Django module, we are getting one file, guys, into our local system available in Python software. What is that file name? Means Django, guys. Django-admin.py and Python file, guys. We are getting one Python file. Okay, so that is Django-admin.py. This file is our Django framework related file, guys. This file is our Django framework related file. Okay, so in this Django-admin file, guys, n number of other modules, submodules, classes, methods, multiple there. Now onwards, using this file, we are going to get those all modules to developing our applications. Okay, na? Yeah. After installing, guys, this is coming. So now onwards, guys, so by using this Django-admin, we can create the project. So Django project, if you want to create employee project, student project, article project, okay. So like a projects, if you want to create by using the Django-admin file, we are using to creating the Django project. Okay, na? So how to create Django project? How to create Django project, guys? Okay, so how creating means by using the Django-admin.py file, we can create the Django project. That is the answer, guys. By using Django-admin file, we can create, guys. We can create project. We can create project like below. Guys. Okay, so command is there, guys. So open your location, guys. Your C drive, E drive, wherever you want. For example, here, in D drive, I want to be creating, guys. So here, all your senior batches, guys, different batches related. Okay, folders I taken. So now you are going to be creating one folder, guys. Multiple folders, guys. These all multiple batches related. So now we are going to be creating one folder here. We are going to be creating one folder. So here, for example, this is what 10 a.m. 9:30, na? So 9:30 a.m. Django batch. Okay, 9:30 a.m. Django batch. So you can take it time, date also I taken. Okay, so this is my folder, guys. So in this folder, in this 9:30 a.m. Django batch folder, all your project, guys, for your batch, what projects we are developing here, n number of projects we are developing regularly day to day. So these all I'm going to be maintaining here in this folder. Okay, so create one folder in your required location in your system. In the D drive I created, guys. In E drive, web drive, wherever you want, you can create one folder. There you can create the Django project. Okay, so first of all, commands I'm telling. So if you want to create the Django project, guys, so select your command prompt location wherever you want to store. Okay, I want to store in this location, guys. So this is command from location. Okay, later. Now command we are going to be discussing. So Django -admin space start project, guys. Start project followed by project name, demo project. Demo project. So this is the command to creating the project name, guys. Okay, so select your required location. Now Django -admin this file, guys. Django -admin space start project. This is a fixed command followed by project name. This is user defined, guys. Okay, na? So in this command, this is common regularly. Django -admin space start project fixed, and this is user defined depending on program. Demo project, basic project, sample project, employee project, product project, like that, changing. Okay, na? So by using this command, we are creating the Django project, guys. Using this command, we are creating the Django project. So now here, so after creating this project, guys, after creating this project, you are getting one folder into your command prompt location. You are getting one folder into your command prompt location. Now in this folder, again one subfolder you are getting with the same name. Okay, and one manage.py Python file also you are getting. After executing this line, so one folder you are getting in this location. In this folder with the same name, again folder you are getting, and one manage.py file you are getting. So this is acting like a root folder, our project related root folder, guys. In this root folder we have the project name. This is my project name, and this is one manage.py ready-madely coming. Okay, so this is the folder, guys. In this folder again, you are going to get the 4 files by default. Nowadays latest versions people are using means 5 files they are getting. Okay, no problem, majorly 4 files. 4 files you are getting. Okay, so what are the files we can see here? So underscore init .py initialization file, next settings.py, next urls.py, next ssgi.py. Okay, nowadays latest version people also getting asgi.py. This is optional. Okay, like old versions these things you are getting, latest version this is also you are getting. Okay, but we are not using regularly these things right now, just we are using settings and urls only. Slowly you will understanding remaining files. Okay, so this is the structure you are going to get, guys, by default. This is the structure you are going to be getting. Okay, now so project how creating means by using this command you are creating. Whenever we are creating that command, executing that command, so one folder created with this project name as a folder name, root folder. In this folder we are getting project name, and that project containing these files, and one manage.py file also is there in the folder. The project name and manage.py both are in the same parallel location. Okay, so this is the project structure, guys, a project structure. So now for every project, guys, every project having the applications, one application at least required for every project, one application required, and n number of applications we can write down. At least one application, at most n number of applications, guys. At least one, at most n number of applications. Okay, now so now we'll discuss that one, guys. Next, I want to be creating the application, guys. So I want to be creating the application. So now your cursor is in the command prompt location is there. So you need to change the directory. cd means change the directory into this root folder. Okay. So now cd demo project you are giving. Now your command prompt location slash okay, you are getting like this demo project. Okay, like this you are getting, guys. So command prompt location demo project, like this you are getting. Previously only in the command prompt is there. Now in the demo project folder you have your cursor. So after that you need to create the application, guys. You need to create the application. This is the project, guys. Now application I want to create. So if you want to create project, this one is required. Okay, this one. If you want to create the application, this one is required. That's why we are going to use here Python manage.py. This is a fixed, guys, always. Now start app also fixed. App name is user defined. Okay, na? So now you can see Django -admin start project fixed, project name user defined. Python manage.py start app fixed, app name user defined. Okay, start project followed by project name, start app followed by app name. The commands very important, guys. Regularly we are using same commands from day one to day end. Okay, na? In material you are getting how to creating the project, this is the command. How to change the directory, this is the command. After creating project, what files you are getting, okay, every file explanation. And after creating the application, what files you are getting, okay, and how to creating the application, like all you are getting, guys, information. So now, guys, after creating application, guys, after creating application, your application name you are getting, okay. So in this application name, one folder you are getting as migrations, we are calling migrations folder, and 6 files we are getting as 6 files we are getting. For example, apps.py, okay. So next init.py, okay. Next admin.py. Yeah, go ahead.
So in the demo project which you said above, so these are the like by default file which you created your urls.py or this wsgi asgi.
Yes, all are coming by default automatically.
Once any
All
like
are
project
automatically
is created, right?
Yeah. So
So
whenever we created this line,
Mhm.
automatically coming this structure.
What is init.py, the first one, the very first one?
Yeah. I'll tell, wait. Just I'm giving the structure. Every file information I'm going to give. Okay.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
wait. So admin file you are getting as, and the models.py you are getting. Don't worry, these all files slowly you will get it. So views.py you are getting. So how many coming here? So 5 coming. Next, last one, test.py. Like these files you are going to be getting as, okay. So one folder you are getting, and these files you are getting in the application. So this application where you are getting means, so first of all comes to here, this is the structure, this is the project structure, copy. So after executing this application, guys, okay, after creating this application, so you are going to be getting this one, okay. So this is the level, guys. So now you are getting, can see now. If you want, you can make it, okay, this one, no problem. So now this is the structure, guys. Actually, this is the project structure, main root folder. In this root folder, you are getting one folder, guys, that is acting like a project folder. In this project folder, you are getting these files by default. Okay. So now, and one manage.py file also you are getting by default. Next, one folder application you are getting as application folder, this one. In this folder again, in this folder, so one subfolder you are getting as one subfolder you are getting migrations, and later these all files, normal files you are getting as, okay. So these all are like a normal files only. 6 files you are getting here, 6 files you are getting here. In the latest version, last one you are getting, otherwise 4 files you are getting. So I'm using Django 2.0.5, so I'm going to get only first 4 files, guys, okay. So simply I'm writing 4 or 5 files you are getting, latest one 5 or old one 4, okay. Here 4 files you are getting, and this is also coming manually. So this is one folder, guys, one folder you are getting. So totally this is the structure, guys. When you are working with the Python, single Python file you are developing, and you are creating single Python file, demo.py, example.py, sample.py, like that, and you are writing the logics. But in Django, guys, using the Django web applications, we are going to be developing web applications. So some files are required for which databases we are using, all settings, guys. Some files are maintaining URLs, www.facebook.com, youtube.com, gmail.com, home page, contact page, login page, like that. For every action, URLs there, URLs maintaining guys. Okay. So some files are maintaining the database related coding, some files maintaining the business coding, some files maintaining the admin related coding, like every file having its own meaning guys. Okay na? So in this structure guys, in this structure, so regularly we are using, most of the times we are using this settings.py file, settings file, and this URL files guys. These two things we are using here. Here we are using these two files majorly. Remaining all are interconnected. I'll tell each one meaning. So these two we are using guys, settings and URLs, settings and URLs. And in the application guys, we are going to use admin, modal, views. These 5 files we are using regularly guys. In all programs, these 5 files only we are using. Okay, and coming days our own files we are going to be creating depending on our requirement, some more own files. Okay, so this is the project structure, remember guys. So now okay, one word answer I'm giving. Later at the time of discussing every concept, more clearly you are going to get. So init file not having any code guys by default. So init file representing initialization file, initialization file. This is a folder guys. This is a folder. So when we are calling this folder is a Python package. In Python only you are getting this knowledge. When we are calling a folder as a Python package, means in which folder we are having a double underscore init double underscore dot py. This is technically we are calling initialization file. In which folder we are having the init file, then that folder we are calling the Python package. This is we are calling now package guys, Python package. Okay, if this file available. So just this is a Python package representing purpose. We are this is coming by default. In the settings.py, so what database, MySQL, Oracle, Mongo, like what database you are using, what servers we are, what databases we are using, what applications we are using for this project, what templates we are using. Templates means HTML. Okay, like all our project related settings we are maintaining in the settings.py file. In the settings, by default, so many huge lines code coming. By default, more lines of code coming guys. Along with those code, we are going to add some more other code. I'll take care that one, don't worry. Okay, so what is coming in the settings.py existing code, don't disturb that one, and depending on situation we are writing our own code. Okay, in the urls.py guys, our application related URLs, project related URLs we can maintain. youtube.com, gmail.com, facebook.com, like all URLs we can write in the url.py. Okay, so WSGI, these things we are not using guys. These things we are not using. So actually this is a server information maintaining, server related web service gateway interface, web service gateway interface, asynchronous gateway interface. Okay, so these are maintaining the server kind of related information. So we are not disturbing this one, and we are not writing any logics. Okay, only settings and URLs we are writing logics. Next here in the demo app, so we have the apps.py, application configurations coding is there. We are not touching that one. And init file representing this folder is a Python package. Okay, next admin code guys. So every application is having the admin code. I told Django by default coming with admin. So our application related all tables, employee table, product table, like our application related tables, if you want to load into the admin site and you want to use those tables to add the data or update data, delete data, you can use admin coding. So we are going to be discussing coming days this one more and more. And models code guys, in the models.py, database related logics we are writing guys, DB related logics we are writing. Which DB you are connecting, that is you are writing in the settings. But in that database, what tables creating, employee table, again employee table having what columns, number, name, salary, address, like these all table and columns, those all things by using the models we can handle. In the views guys, business code we are writing. I want to create the data, or I want to update the data, I want to delete the data, like that. Business logics we are writing. In the test.py guys, this is also we are not touching. So in the test.py, testing code we can write, cross checking your view successfully working or not, like that. Testing code guys, for example, Selenium, okay, manual testing, testings there. So those people, the people who are learning the testing side, those people can use the test.py. For our web development, not required. Okay, na? So majorly admin code, models code, views code. These 3 files we are using guys here. Okay, and here 2 more files we are using. So slowly, whenever we are using these files application, slowly, you are going to get understanding about these all files. Okay, na? So this is the basic project structure, guys. Next session onwards, we are going to be developing small basic projects, guys. Just today only commands I given. So now time is also enough. So tomorrow in this location, guys, in the D drive, I created one folder for our batch 9 AM Django batch. So in this folder, I want to create our demo project, demo app, all things, and I want to run this server. After running server from the browser, I want to send the URL. Okay, whenever I'm sending one particular URL, I'll get one response output. Like these all things we are going to be discussing slowly, session by session. Okay, na? So thank you guys for this day. So guys, I'm telling as soon as possible, you need to do the registration. So I started installation, all the things. Actually, until the paying registration, demo session only keep repeating. Okay, but my way of teaching, I'm not interested to keep repeating old sessions only again and again. So I'm teaching forward side, concept by concept. So you guys need to do the registration, and this demo link may expire maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So before expiring that one, okay, before changing the new URL, you need to contact with online team and do your registration, guys. Then only you are going to be continuing this batch.
So what will be the content? Like you will explain how to make the like UI part will be covered and the Django, like how to make the project, right? Voila.
Yeah, both combination end of the day projects we are going to do.
So APIs also you will cover this part.
Front end UI, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, I'll cover, guys. But what required for our Django development, front end related, that is I'm going to take care. Okay. For example, some applications you can take it. This is all your senior batch only I developed. Okay. So for example, one article project. This is just 1 week back completed. Before starting our batch, I completed this batch. Okay. So here, these all are UI coding only. UI coding. So here, what front end required for our Django backend coding purpose? For example, registration page, login page, like these all are presentation, guys. So like those pages, how we are designing those things, I'm going to be take care. HTML, CSS, Bootstrap related all rules and regulations, these all things myself, I'll take care, guys. More completely, if you want to learn about the UI, you need to join separate UI courses. So 2 months the time they are taking us 45 days to 2 months. But our Django only 45 days to 2 months. Within this duration, we are going to be learning total Django. That's why we are not spending more days about the UI. We are spending more days about the Django backend coding. So when we are developing applications, guys, like this, a number of presentation we are going to use. So here header, about page. Whenever I'm clicking about page, coming home page, Python related. Okay, about Python, I'm writing some. About Django, I'm writing some points. About REST API, I'm writing some points. Okay, so register page you are getting, login page you are getting. Okay, so if you are clicking here, sign up, again registration you are getting. So if you are clicking here, sign in, again register you are getting. So whenever my mouse moving here, button coming, otherwise only border coming. Okay, and here header piece, these all are header part. This is we are calling footer part. Okay, this is the left frame, this is the right frame. Total we are calling body. So how we are splitting this page, guys? One page, how we are splitting like multiple frames wise. Okay, so these things we are discussing in our Django. So this is all front end only, guys. So whenever you want to do the registration, guys, here you're going to enter your username, email, password, confirmation password, like all things. So if all are successfully done, your registration done successfully, like messages we are giving. So those messages using the backend code we are giving, and after submitting this registration data, taking in the backend side, nothing but our Django, and we are storing into database. Okay, that is our main target. But to enter the data purpose, this presentation we developed here. Okay, na? So like this, we can do it, guys. End of the session. So some projects we are doing like this.
So
Okay.
communication between front end back end, how will you tell? Through database or like through API?
So communication, the front end side is like this presentation we are doing, back end code using the Django we are doing, and the database purpose, database storing the data purpose, MySQL database we are using regularly. You know, all together communication we will discuss in the sessions.
So it will be through like this CRUD command, or you will like create an API and like show us.
No APIs, directly creating using the front end we are submitting, in the back end receiving, that is we are sending to the database using the ORM queries. Django providing one special feature which is ORM, object relational mapping layer is there. Using the ORM layer, we are going to store, we are going to be communicating to database. Any database you can use, MySQL, Oracle, Mongo, SQL Server, but we are creating the Django queries only, ORM queries. ORM query is common, and that is automatically converted to particular DB format, whatever you are using. That is one of the best advantage in Django. Okay, na? So after learning Django, after learning Django, REST API is there. There, using the APIs, we are communicating to database. Tell me.
So, sir, just like Django, I have heard one more like bottleneck. His name is Flask. So what is Flask?
Yeah. So Flask is also one of the framework in our Python side. So n number of frameworks there, guys. So Django is one framework. Flask is also one framework. For example, in Java, core Java, advanced Java, these all are Java related coding. Later frameworks, Hibernate is there, Struts is there, Spring is there, like a number of frameworks. In .NET side, C# is the basic coding, our Python. After learning basic coding, then ASP.NET is there, MVC framework is there, like that frameworks. So here Django and Flask both are frameworks of our Python. So using the Django you can do application, using the Flask also you can do. But why we are giving first priority to Django only means nowadays so many projects are going on the Django project, Django framework, guys. 80 to 80% projects are going on the Django project. Django framework. Using Django framework, they are developing 80% projects. That's why people are giving first priority to learn Django framework. Okay, and why means more interview calls we are getting, and nowadays in the industries Flask also people are using. So using the Flask micro applications, guys, small applications we can do. Using the Django big applications also we can do it. And one more difference, in Django we are having the ORM layer. Hence Django queries we are writing, and that query automatically converted into MySQL format, MongoDB, SQL Server, Oracle, like whatever the DB you are using, that DB format converting. Okay, na? But if you are using the Flask, every database related separate queries you need to write. Initially I'm using MySQL queries you are writing. After 2 months, I want to change to MongoDB. Then all SQL queries, MySQL queries, again I need to change into MongoDB format. But if you are using Django, no need to do any query changing. Just you are going to do database settings. Instead of MySQL, you are going to give MongoDB. Enough. Automatically converted into MongoDB format. Like a number of benefits there in the Django. That's why people are learning this Django nowadays. So once if you are learning Django, guys, so if you have time, then you can also learn the Flask. So if you are learning all the frameworks Python related, then you are getting more skilling. And whatever the project there in your organization, you can work on that. Okay, na?
And suppose all the database like Mongo, Oracle, MySQL,
Yeah, definitely. Supporting. But every database related, for example, Django by default supporting only 4 DBs. 4 DBs supporting by default. And out of 4, 1 database related settings automatically coming. Okay, remaining 3 we need to give settings. But other databases, if you want to use modules, today I explained. So we are going to be downloading and we are going to be adding. So we have the database section, that time I'll tell.
How about say deployment? Because deployment is also one part. Like, so will you take deployment in this?
Myself only 2-3 times only I taken, guys, deployment related. Actually GitHub related our local code into the GitHub. Okay, local code into GitHub code hosting platforms there. So sharing to there, and from the code hosting platform, nothing but from GitHub to local, local to GitHub server. So these all things in the class live only I'm going to show you, and how to creating the virtual environments for every project, project to project virtual environments, how creating, what is the use of virtual environment in real time, like these all things I'm showing. So live deployment I'm not showing, guys. Why means for that again separate credentials, these all things required. So when you are joining into organization, your company people are going to give some credentials, office credentials. Using those credentials, Amazon cloud computing related credentials, you can just pushing. So local to server, how pushing, then server to, I mean server means nothing but GitHub, guys. So from your local system to GitHub server location, you are pushing your code. From there to your real server, you are going to be pushing. That is by using the credentials, easily we can do it, no problem.
So GitHub you will tell, GitHub you will tell how to push
GitHub
code.
will take care everything. So using our PyCharm having lot of shortcuts, ready-made styling commands there, guys. So using the PyCharm, how we are pushing and pulling the data, and using the command prompt, how pushing and pulling, I will take care.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, na? Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you, guys. See you tomorrow.